Today, we tackle a growing concern across Africa. Why are thousands of university graduates still unemployed several years after earning university degrees? From South Africa, where many graduates struggle despite qualifications, to Uganda, where employers increasingly complain of skill gaps, and to Cameroon, where PhD holders protest because they don't have jobs, questions are mounting over whether African universities are truly training students for realities of today's job market. I'm here today with a panel of experts and admission officers from across Africa as they debate the future of higher education, employability, and skills development. They are here in Cameroon thanks to an Open Dreams initiative. Our topic of discussion is the university job market mismatch, fueling joblessness. And we have as guest Dr. Grace Ramafi, Senior Manager, Mastercard Foundation Scholars Program, University of Pretoria in South Africa. Welcome to the program, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Is it the first time you're coming to Cameroon?
Yes, this is my first time. I tried the past 2 years, but visa challenges, I wasn't able to come in.
Visa challenges?
Oh, yes.
You mean you applied and you don't have a visa to come to Cameroon?
I applied, but there were delays. And, you know, we work on time. By the time the visa was about to be approved, I had to go elsewhere.
Oh, so sorry. So what is your first impression about Cameroon?
Well, I've traveled, I've had the opportunities to travel throughout Africa, and you see commonality amongst our countries on our continent, where you will see spaces where there are developments, and when you go to rural areas or city centers, you find that there's a degeneration of buildings, etc., and there's overpopulation, and I'm sure because people are trying to move to the cities to find employment, which is a struggle, and I think that's what we'll be talking about today.
Thank you. And just tell us briefly about University of Pretoria in South Africa.
The University of Pretoria in South Africa is one of the oldest institutions in South Africa, second to the University of South Africa, which I know most of the people on the continent and worldwide know. It's a big university with a student population of close to 60,000, and 40,000 of those are undergraduates, and the remainder are postgraduates. And it's a university where you find students, professors from all corners of the world, meaning that there's diversity or an inclusion at the university.
Thank you, ma'am. Jolie Okumu is Program Operations Lead, Program Manager, Makerere University in Uganda. Welcome to the program, ma'am.
Thank you very much, and it's a pleasure to be here.
Is it the first time you're also coming to Cameroon?
Yes, it's my first time.
What is the image you had about Cameroon while coming, and what have you discovered?
So, because I've traveled to other countries, and my impression first was, okay, in terms of development of infrastructure. And when I came here, right from the airport, I saw a lot of similarity, where people sell things on the street. It's very similar to Uganda's situation. So as I'm here, it's like I'm at home. So of course, a lot of diversity, and of course the French language is one of the areas that, because we are English-speaking country, so French language is very, very key in terms of communication when you're in this country.
Okay,
yeah,
and
thank
also
you very much.
You're talking about University of
Makerere University
in Uganda. Talk to us about your university, madam.
So Makerere University is one of the oldest universities in East Africa. It's 104 years old, established as an institution in 1922. So we celebrated 100 years 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. We are now 104 years old, and the university is renowned for educating some prominent leaders in Africa. For example, Julius Nyerere of Tanzania went to Makerere University, and other great leaders, Kwame Nkrumah and there's a hall of residence named after Kwame Nkrumah at Makerere University. So the university has a population of about 40,000 students, and providing education, undergraduate, masters, and at PhD level, and both humanities and sciences. So it's a big university.
We also have with us Mike Ssempa Mulindwa, who is Associate Director of Student Recruitment, Carnegie Mellon University Africa, that is in Rwanda. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
The same question for you. Is it the first time you're coming to Cameroon?
Absolutely, it's my first time to be.
And what did you know about Cameroon? What have you discovered? The first impression when you got to the country.
I would say Cameroon. I've known Cameroon before I came here for long. Of course, I'm a soccer fan. I know the legends of the Samuel Eto'o playing in Barcelona, Inter Milan. I remember Jeremy Ndiefi. I remember Rigobert's song in the World Cup, in that famous green and red jersey with the yellow stripes. So Cameroon has been something that I grew up sort of following a lot. Secondly, of course, being in East Africa, I've had a chance and an opportunity to work with so many Cameroonian colleagues who are awesome, engaging, calm people. They love fun. They love being out there, eating good food. And when I came to Cameroon, of course, meeting with the Open Dreams team, and we were out somewhere at the restaurant. It was the same, the same replica of the friends, Cameroonian friends I met. The people I met on the streets are very nice people, welcoming, jolly, warm. Having spent over 15 years in Kigali, French is not strange. So when I hear French, I have some things I can pick up. So this is a comfortable environment. But I like overall wonderful African people. Cameroonians are great.
When you talk about Open Dreams, I remember Kaba James, who made it possible for us to have this program now. But talk to us about your own university.
Right. Carnegie Mellon University was founded in the 1900s. We've been in existence for the last 125 years. It's based in the United States in a state called Pennsylvania, in its capital, Pittsburgh. We have over 16,000 students from 5 different locations, from around 117 countries. We have a living alumni pool of over 130,000 living alumni pool. We have the main campus in Pittsburgh. The African location is a campus that was opened up in 2011 after CMU, Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh, signed a partnership agreement with the government of Rwanda, basically to help to be part of the Agenda 2063, where Africa wants to digitally transform the economy. And we couldn't realize that we realized, CMU realized, and the government of Rwanda realized that Africa cannot achieve that if we don't have world-class, competent human resource in the areas of tech and engineering. So upon signing that partnership agreement, CMU Africa was founded, and over the time we have graduated over 1,000 students from around now 26 African countries, and quite a number of those are from Cameroon. Through the help of Open Dreams, we've been able to get close to 30 Cameroonian students, graduates in tech and engineering, mathematics and physics, who have gone through our graduate degree programs, that's a master's program, that they're working in different parts of the world. Just to mention that we offer the Kigali campus, the African campus of Carnegie Mellon University, only offers master's degree programs. The undergraduate and the PhD programs are based on the main campus in Pittsburgh, and specifically the African campus in Kigali operates under the College of Engineering at the main campus. So the main campus has a broad, much more programs, and we operate under the College of Engineering. And we have 3 master's degree programs: a Master of Science in Information Technology, a Master of Science in Electrical and Computer Engineering, and a Master of Science in Engineering Artificial Intelligence. Okay. And those programs were developed, they're accredited and awarded by the main campus in Pittsburgh. In other words, when students start at the Kigali campus, they earn an American degree, but while here on the African soil. And the programs were designed to fit the 21st and future needs of tech and engineering ecosystem of Africa.
Okay, thank you. Now let's go to what brought us here today. We're talking about the we're asking if the university job market mismatch is fueling joblessness. And Jolie Okumu, are African universities producing graduates for employment or for certificates?
Thank you. Thank you for that question. So we've had opportunity to interact with employers. The Mastercard Foundation Scholars Program, where I serve as the program operations lead, we've been very intentional about identifying where the gaps are. And so when the students go for internship is a requirement for the fulfillment of a degree at Makerere University. So for every student that comes to the university, you're required to undertake internship in either your second year or your third year. So as a scholars program that is not only facilitating education of young people, but also empowering them through skills development, we took a deliberate measure to have an interaction with employers. So during the field visit, when we had that interaction, we discovered some of the skills gap. And some of them include not being in position, young people not having the skills to communicate effectively. So communication skills is a major gap in terms of expressing themselves, in terms of writing, reporting. Those are gaps that have been identified by employers because they interact with these young people and are able to know. So based on those gaps that we were able to identify, we came back to the university. Of course, one of the objectives of the program is also to institutionalize some of the practices and the good policies that would help the university to improve.
I think we're going to talk about what we are actually doing, but what I want to know from you is that when you look at the number of students who have graduated within the past 2 years or so,
yes,
and those who are gainfully employed now, what is the proportion? Do you have many more who are employed after their university degrees or many more who are looking for jobs?
In the Uganda context, of course, there are many unemployed graduates. There are very many unemployed graduates. We've had the opportunity to also do a tracer study. But because we are running a program, and this program is focusing on just an ice drop of the bigger population. So what we discover with the smaller population is a reflection of what happens in the mainstream university population. So there is unemployment. The level of unemployment in Uganda is 76%. And there are very many universities now, over 40 universities in the country. On an annual basis, over 10,000 graduates are coming out of the different universities. So, and amidst the population growth. And so the unemployment level is very high. So one thing I must say is that the universities over time have been designed, the education system have been designed to produce more job seekers than job creators.
Thank you. We shall come back and get your development. Let's come to you, Dr. Grace Ramafi from the University of Pretoria in South Africa. What is the situation in your own country, South Africa? Are you producing students who come and graduates who come and start looking for jobs, or they come and create jobs, or are gainfully employed?
To answer your question, I must say that, and to say to you that in most institutions of higher learning, and specifically in my country, This is a current and ongoing discussion about mismatch of degrees and jobs out there. So what the University of Pretoria in particular, having partnered with the Mastercard Foundation, is that their vision and goals are aligned. The university has vigorously gone into looking at curriculum change in terms of creating community or community engaged learning, where students are now, what they are studying is aligned to what the job market is looking out there. So for example, I was in a meeting just a day before I came here on the 15th, where the university had invited the South African Navy to come and talk about the developments around community engaged learning. And communities, we talk about employers, we talk about government and everyone else who's looking for graduates, to show them how, working with industry, the students are now innovatively creating programs or tools that will help. So the Navy was there to come and hear what the university with its students can innovatively provide
now,
services and tools.
Before you explain that aspect of it, which is very important because it makes them to have the skills, I want to know, when you look at the population, I know in South Africa they have been trying to, expand higher education, but at the same time, the undergraduate unemployment remains so high. I want to find out from you, could you talk to us about the number of graduates from South Africa in general or in University of Pretoria in particular, and those who become gainfully employed after their first degrees?
To answer that is that the University of Pretoria, with its involvement in degrees that will help communities, I can assure you that over 90% of our students at the University of Pretoria find employment. Some of them find employment while still at the university.
Different from what is happening in your own country, where you said 72% of the youth are unemployed.
Over 70%.
Okay, you let us know the secret. What you do in University of Pretoria to have many of the graduates employed. Continue, madam.
Okay. What we do in that regard, for example, as I told you, we have now even partnered with Mastercard Foundation that really promotes dignified and fulfilling work. We always have, every quarter, if I recall, we have job fairs, career fairs at the universities, where employers come to the university. They even do mock interviews with the students who are about to graduate. They go on internships whilst at the university, and with the Mastercard Foundation, we encourage scholars to at least get into one internship to help them get work ready. And we also encourage them to take more than one internship. And based on that, we find that many of our scholars and students at the university get employment.
Now, Mike Ssempa, there seems to be a widening gap between lecture hall training and labor market demands. What is it looking like in your own country?
So, thank you so much for the question. I will respond to that question specifically in the angle of Carnegie Mellon University. At least we are, the programs that were developed so much looking at the needs in the market. The statistics in CMU show 95% of the graduates are employed within the first 6 months upon their graduation. 95%. 10% of them go on to secure fully funded PhD programs in some of the leading tech and engineering universities globally. 29% of them either are employed in a mid or top level management positions, and really 82% of them are working on the continent. So that is a significant really achievement in terms of, it talks, the data talks for itself in terms of the quality of students that come from CMU master's degree programs. And we've been able to get there because, one, at CMU, students who are admitted We have a rigorous admission process, and the students who are admitted based on their ability to do things, not only on the grades they get in their undergraduate. Number one. Number two, there is a strong career emphasis. From day one, students have a team of career professionals who are working with them to identify their career aspirations, connect them to, help them establish their career pathways, and be able to lead them to opportunities that would make those career aspirations a reality. We also have a strong emphasis on the pathway to opportunities through the strong entrepreneurship approach. We have the statistics I didn't mention is that 10% of our students, graduates, are able to start their own companies. And why that is possible is that we have the Industry Innovation Lab, where final year students, including other tech startups on the continent, who come up with tech startup ideas, apply to join the Industry Innovation Hub. They get expertise, support, space, and utilities to build a prototype of a tech product, get it to an MVP level, the minimum viable product, and go to market and scale. And currently they are funded. They're given a significant seed capital that helps them to be able to get to the level of going to market and scaling.
Who funds them?
With the support of the Mastercard Foundation, we have a grant that is given to any successful startup that has successfully joined the program. So in that space, they are working with startup companies which have come from all over Africa, because that program takes in our final year students who have come up with tech startup ideas, but also there are other tech startups from Africa that also apply for the program. So when they are successful, they all work in one space. They get the mentorship for 1 year to be able to go through that process. And for example, lastly, as I come to a conclusion to the response, is that we have a very strong careers program. Like last month, yes, in March, we had over 70 companies from all over the continent that came simply to showcase, because they believe in the quality of the graduates from CMU Africa. They came for exhibit in terms of helping CMU graduates know what they do and to let them apply for jobs. Basically to tell them, we're here, we know you're good, we want you to apply for roles in our companies.
Mike Ssempa Mulindwa, when you admit the best, you said you take the best from those who apply, where do you send the rest?
We don't admit the best. We look at an applicant profile wholesomely. Actually, we can reject a first-class degree student because they're not wholly built to be able to fit in the actual profile of a CMU graduate.
What do you look for when they come knocking?
The grades are important. You have good grades. But on top of that, we look at their CVs. In school, what projects did you work on? During internship, did you teach yourself some things? Do you have some initiative, leadership skills? So we look at all those, and we encourage students to showcase that in their CVs, and also the purpose statement they write in the process application, because the admission is decided by a committee of professors who have to look at every aspect of their application, not one thing. You might have a very good GPA, but you might fall short on a number of other things. Actually, you also do a technical test to see your level in terms of the technical skills that are required in the area that you've applied for.
Usually, Okumu, some people think that university education is not the best in Africa because the quality of students you get from secondary schools, from college, from high schools is not the best. Do you think you receive children who are not well trained to be at the level of universities and you have to start training them all over again?
I don't believe so, because the university has a set criteria to admit young people to the university. And if a young person can meet the criteria to be admitted at the university, then it means they have the potential. So I believe that when the students are admitted, the university now has a big role to play to not only educate or provide the academic aspect, but to build this person holistically so that they can be able to unleash their potential fully. So the university admits people who qualify. That's what I believe.
Okay.
And so the university, after, apart from just providing the academic, the education, we also have a responsibility to ensure that all the other skills that are required in the job market are inculcated into these young people, and the young people are prepared in advance for the job market. So I believe these young people really qualified.
Now,
yes.
From South Africa and from Rwanda, we got that a lot of the students get jobs, they're employed, and even from what Mike said, some enterprises come to the university already to ask for those qualified students. Let me ask you, you are simply saying that the courses they offer have been redesigned to around technology, entrepreneurship, and practical skills. Is it lacking from your country where you say unemployment is still very high?
Okay. So it's the issue is that the university system originally, but right now there has been a lot of learning because we've had opportunities to interact with the employers. And what we realize is that the job market is quite limited and the population is growing. So there has not been expansion in terms of the job market. So what our grandfathers, our parents, when they completed their university, at that time, they would come for them. The employment was available, both government and private. But now, the job market in terms of opportunities remain the same. And yet the population is growing. When you look at the population of students who joined the university in the 90s, about 2,000 were being admitted. But now that has expanded. And the number of universities have also expanded to meet the market, the population.
About 40 and 10,000 students going out.
So every university is graduating students. Yet the expansion outside in the market is quite limiting. The government entities have remained the same that employ the young people, and the private sector is not expanding at the same level to meet the needs of the growing population. So that is what causes this divide. So the solution is train young people to become job creators. So that when they get out, they are not only looking to be employed, but they are able to create jobs and then also employ people. So when we create more of job seekers, that is the gap that is likely to happen. You're likely to have a country with high level of unemployment. So in terms of what is being done at the institution is encouraging now a lot of entrepreneurship because they know entrepreneurship is now the way to go. And so Makerere University has now 6 innovation hubs. So the 6 innovation hubs is to help the young people develop their ideas, the business ideas, but also to grow their ventures. In addition, the Mastercard Foundation provides a seed fund. So the seed fund is there to help people who have entrepreneurship skills and are willing to do business and have devoted interest in doing entrepreneurship. So that fund is available to encourage young people to become innovators, to do business. We've also been having career fair where we bring in a lot of employers to have direct interaction with the young people, to talk about the kind of skills they are looking for,
the kind of program-specific talent that they are looking out for. So the young people at the university, every year we have 3 days of career fair where young people are able to interact with the employers, but the employers also are able to share the opportunities that are available in their fields. So those are some of the innovations at the university, but also mainstreaming some of the programs within the academic programs. For example, when we talk about communication skills, so you'll find an engineer also doing communication skills. You'll find someone doing computer science also doing communication skills. So it has been mainstreamed. Within all these programs, academic programs, they've mainstreamed some of the skills so that, you know, it can help the graduates in their transition to employment.
Having those qualified graduates,
yes,
entrepreneurs, without funding, you only gave the example of Mastercard. Now,
yes,
we expect that to create jobs, since the opportunities are limited, the government should come in with funding. Is that the case in your country? Do we have
yes,
government funding projects? And how much would they propose for a project, maybe in ICTs?
Okay. So there are government interventions as well. I've only talked about the university, but there are a lot of government interventions that are targeting the youth, because they have now understood that this is a big challenge, unemployment. So there are different programs. There are programs to help young people to build their skills in institutions. There are programs to help to give seed funding for business to young people. There are others targeting young women. So all these programs, they are government interventions to help alleviate or improve the current situation.
Dr. Grace Ramafi, talk to us about how you've been able to redesign courses around technology, entrepreneurship, and practical skills, which apparently, Mike was saying, it is needed. These are the aspects needed to be able to train graduates who are ready to create jobs and be employed.
As I alluded to earlier, there's a lot of private-public partnerships in South Africa between industry, university, and the government. We have national institutes as well that put money into the university to support these. So that, as I said, students, in addition to the academic theory, these industries come in for these young people to translate what they have studied into applied resources, etc. So we see a lot of that happening at the University of Pretoria. And she mentioned entrepreneurship, and that's what we all do with the Mastercard Foundation funding, where we have funding for startups. And for us, there's a lot of going on around entrepreneurship. The university even offers free entrepreneurship module for all the students of the university. And there are innovation hubs as well, where students are allowed to play around, do stuff with that, to create projects and all of that, and they are supported. I referred earlier that we had a meeting with the South African Navy. I also had a meeting with the Jim Leach Mastercard Foundation that also supports or teaches entrepreneurship to students. And these are not only University of Pretoria students, it's not only Mastercard Foundation scholars. We have requested that they extend it to the broader University of Pretoria students, so that they leave no students behind, so that they end up being well-rounded graduates when they leave the university. So when I got this meeting together with our Department of Economic and Management Sciences, their entrepreneurship unit, when they met with the Jim Leach Foundation, they got now about to sign a memorandum of understanding where the two will come together and sort of make this pot of support bigger to be able to support these students. And the university also not only supports university students, they also go out in the community, get the young people in the community who were not able to access higher education and train them on entrepreneurship. So they are giving them this training of entrepreneurship. Now the gym lead is going to come. I don't even know if I should be talking about this now because it's still in the making. But they will now, after the first phase of training, the Jim Leach Foundation takes over and take them through all the process of entrepreneurship. We also, with our Mastercard Foundation Entrepreneurship Startup Funds, when they transition from the university to help sustain their projects, we also map them or look for partners that will help them sustain these projects, because they start projects that are very promising. These young people start having employees while they are at the university, and when they leave now, they can concentrate on their projects that are doing well. I went to Kenya in the last month, met with the Ministry of Cooperatives, yes. And the Ministry of Cooperatives has agreed to take on our scholars to sustain the projects that they are doing. So this is how the partnership is very, very important.
Now, there's a question many people before the program started said I should ask you, Dr. Grace Ramafi, Senior Manager, Mastercard Foundation Scholars Program, and you're from the University of Pretoria in South Africa. Can you imagine the question I'm going to ask you now? I'm sure you should be able to answer. There are Africans, other Africans asking us this question. They talk to us about it. How free are Cameroonian students? A lot of them want to go and study in South Africa. How free are they to study in your country, South Africa? How free are they to work there in your country, South Africa? We're talking about the xenophobic attacks and that we've been getting. It's so frightful in the media.
This, I think, 2 hours ago, we were talking about this with my colleagues to say that we go to different countries on the continent and we start talking about this. And at the end, I always say, talk about the elephant in the room, because they are afraid to ask the question. And the truth of the matter is, as I was telling my colleagues earlier, that if you go to any of the young people who's at the University of Pretoria and they are from outside South Africa and ask them if they have been accosted or anything happened to them, the answer is no. Sometimes the media sensationalize things, and sometimes the issues, people don't talk about the real issues, because you find that whatever happened between whoever was happening has a valid reason that should have happened. But under general, South Africans are very kind people. They are very generous people. You mentioned that you work with the SABC, so yeah. I'm sure you know about South Africans. We are warm, we are a rainbow nation. We love people coming to our country. And as I say, we have 32 African countries represented only on the Mastercard Foundation Scholarship Program. But the University of Pretoria have people from the 54 African countries on this continent.
That is assuring.
Thank you very much.
Mike, how can universities prepare students for emerging industries and remote global villages? Because that's where the jobs are. The tendency, as she said when you started the program, is that people are moving to the towns and allowing the suburbs, the villages, where the jobs are also found. How can universities create that environment where children will know they can able to go to the remote areas as well as to the cities to work?
So, number one, again, from the context of CMU Africa, to address that challenge is that, one, universities have to come in and, one, identify the actual needs of communities. Not only the needs in the cities, but also communities in the villages, because you have thousands, actually the largest proportion of Africa will live in the villages. So they should be able to identify the product, the needs of those societies, and therefore be able to train and release graduates that have the skill set and ability to go and uniquely address the needs of those communities. That means they will create value for those communities, implying that those communities will find whatever these graduates are doing relevant to go and pay for a service, for good because that good is needed in that community. Let me just give you an example of what CMU does. CMU has a very, very rigorous education academic approach. Actually, when students join CMU, the first thing you're trained about is how to successfully learn in the CMU academic experience. One of the things that makes it unique is that different societies, different companies, different organizations in different parts of Africa are approached to share the challenges, be it operational, production, tech, management, and so forth. Those challenges are presented to CMU students in form of what we call they're presented to CMU students who are learning in class. They work on projects. Those are classroom projects.
Solution-oriented.
Yes, that address. They have to create a tech solution because for us, at CMU Africa, we are tech-oriented, tech and engineering. So students actually they're called practicums at CMU. Students are presented with these projects. Students are tasked to create a tech solution that addresses that challenge of a company, of a community, and when they do that, these are organizations which are bringing these challenges they're having, companies bringing this. As part of assessment of the quality of the work of the students have done, the students present these solutions to the CEOs, the managers, the community organizers, and so forth. And these owners of the problems that they present to students have to qualify the quality of the solution the students have developed in addressing the actual problem that they were facing. And the higher the level of solution that a student group has created, that's how good they performed in that project. And just to mention that CME education, unlike most of our education on the continent, 85 to 90% are projects. Some courses, they don't do any exam at all. They're working on projects, on the solutions. Those who have like tests, exams, they only have like 10 to 15%. So the biggest portion of the CMU graduate degree program is projects. Actually, that's why our campus is open 24/7. Students can work. The last bus picks students from the campus at around midnight. Those who are extending, working on projects as teams, fine, go ahead and work on it. They have even washrooms where to go and shower to continue and create these solutions. And that's why the greatest story, you find that the success story of employment is unquestionable because of the quality of the graduates that come out of CMU Africa.
There's something you've said, all of you here, several times, Mastercard Foundation, and seemingly they're doing a lot. What is this Mastercard Foundation all about?
The Mastercard Foundation is an organization that started way back in 2012. It's an independent body with its own board of directors, and they looked into Africa and saw that the bulge of the young population on the continent and there's unemployment. And to help bridge this challenge, they addressed it through education. They want to address it through education. We are 40 plus strong partners with the foundation all over the world, and we are all supporting young Africans who, due to financial constraints, would otherwise not access higher education. So all of us as partners, we look for financially constrained young people who to come and study at the different universities. And in addition to the academic support, we also do community engagement. We train them on leadership and entrepreneurship. And that's for them to, at the end of graduation, they find dignified and fulfilling employment.
Where do we find them in Cameroon? let me talk about my country. I know those who are watching are asking, oh, we've got another opportunity, Mastercard Foundation.
Okay.
Maybe some know, some did not know. Tell them where they may be able to find them.
I'm not so sure whether they have. Do you want to respond?
Go ahead.
I don't know where I know the Mastercard Foundation Global is headquartered in Kigali, Rwanda. But one thing I know that Cameroon benefits a lot because of these programs. They are funded by Mastercard. Mastercard is not in every country, but nearly every African country benefits from its programs. For example, at CMU we have both need and merit-based scholarship, where students can get a full sponsorship of their graduate master's degree program at CMU, or get a partial, and a fully funded Mastercard scholarship at CMU, sponsored by Mastercard, includes students travel to and from Cameroon to Kigali. Their stay, healthcare is taken care of, a new computer, and their housing, their food. Basically, you just need your passport and transport to the airport.
How do they apply? Where are they found here? Yeah. Yes, doctor. Briefly before we take a break.
Yeah, I think the other thing is that institutions apply for the funding.
Okay.
So universities in Cameroon can apply to the Mastercard Foundation to be a partner, and they not only just do institutions, even organizations can apply, because they have other programs at secondary level schools, and also Young Africa Works,
okay,
which support entrepreneurship and all of that.
I'm sure that's where Open Dreams has also been tapping from, or they don't know, still trying to find out from them.
Yeah,
but it would be good for Cameroonian students to know how they can benefit from all of this. And please, if I were to plead for Cameroon, a bilingual country, very beautiful country, they need the Mastercard Foundation represented here as in other countries. Now, let's take a break. We shall be right back. You're welcome back. Julie Okumu, you and others here are officials from African universities visiting Cameroon. What's your mission to Cameroon?
Thank you very much. So I came from Uganda, and specifically from Makerere University, for an outreach program that is organized by Open Dreams. And the outreach is to basically enable us to reach out to the young people and create awareness about Mastercard Foundation Scholars Program at Makerere University. So the Mastercard Foundation Scholars Program at Makerere University aims to deepen inclusive education, university education, and empower 1,000 young people in Africa to transform into leaders and make meaningful contribution to the development of their countries. So the program targets young people from all kinds of backgrounds, including 25% of the scholarship is reserved for refugees and internally displaced people, 10% for young people with disabilities, 10% for international community, meaning we are from Uganda, but we are also looking at the rest of Africa. Young people from Cameroon can still join the program and become scholars and will be supported. We've had one Cameroonian before. So at this stage, we are 13 years old. Our partnership started in 2013. So we had the first phase of the Scholars Program, where we recruited and supported 1,032 young people across Africa. And these have since graduated and are making meaningful impact in their communities. Now we are in the second phase of the Scholars Program. And this second phase, we are very intentional about the different categories of young people, including the refugees, young people with disability. 70% of the scholarship is reserved for young women. When you're recruited on this program, you're given comprehensive support, meaning they take care of all your tuition, all your upkeep, from feeding to bedding, accommodation, medical insurance, name it, whatever you would give a child, your own child, when they've gone to the university. Scholastic materials, including laptops, are all given to facilitate their education. Now, in addition to this package, what we do is to provide empowerment or enrichment programs, including leadership development, entrepreneurship development, including the seed fund, which is available on a competitive basis. We have other programs to help build them holistically. Psychosocial support, mental health is key for everyone, including myself. So we have a full-time counselor on the program to support these students so that they can realize their potential. Then there's career development. We provide career development from the time they've joined the program during orientation. They are prepared to transition from the university. Community engaged learning is one of the new initiatives on the program, giving young people the opportunity, that scholars, to go and have an experience. You talked about rural and urban. Now, on this community engaged learning, the students are given opportunity to go back to their communities, their homes, because there is this common thing of rural-urban migration. But what we are trying to do is, within your communities, you can identify opportunities. Where problems exist is where one can identify opportunities.
Let's know, those who are interested, how do they get in touch with you?
Okay, so those who are interested in applying for the Mastercard Foundation Scholars Program, we have a website. You can go to Google and you type Mastercard Foundation Scholars Program at Makerere University. The website will come. You can access a lot of information. But for the time that we are here, I understand tomorrow we are going to be at Hotel de la Ville. So, Hotel de Ville. So we are going to be there and provide comprehensive information about, not only about the scholarship, but how do you apply for admission, because that is the primary criteria. Remember, we cannot sponsor you if you're not admitted.
Okay.
So the first thing is for you to be admitted, and we shall be providing that information. How do you get admitted to Makerere University? What are the criteria? How do you apply? And then how do you also apply for the scholarship? What are the requirements? etc. We shall be there.
What did you study when you were in university? I see you have a lot of passion talking about university.
Yes. Yeah. So I studied social sciences for my undergraduate. Then I did a master's in gender studies. And then I did another master's in counseling psychology.
I can see
so you're
blending all of them
psychology.
To be
yes.
a wonderful lady.
Yes, thank you very much.
I'm sure your university is very proud of you, Makerere University.
Thank you.
Now, Dr. Grace Ramafi, what is this Scholars Program you're talking? I mean, you're coming to introduce Cameroonians all about.
As I mentioned earlier, the Scholars Program, Mastercard Foundation Scholars Program, operates the same way with all the Mastercard partners. However, at the University of Pretoria, they first have to apply to the university to be accepted by the university, because we cannot give funding to someone who's not accepted at the university. But as soon as they apply, then they have to apply to the Scholars Program, and we will track their application with the university to find at what stage it is. And we also helps them throughout their application process if they have challenges. We have the website, which is the www.up.ac.za. That's the application for the university, and within that they can look for the Mastercard Foundation Scholars Program at the University of Pretoria. We are currently open now. Our applications open every year on the 1st of April and closes for undergraduate, closes at the end of June. And for the postgraduates, they open from the 1st of April and we closed at the end of September. But for undergraduates, after the closing date of the universities, ours is still open until the end of September. That's when we will review the applications, and then also do interviews. And as I said, we help them throughout their applications. And we provide similar products for the for the Scholars Program. We bring them to South Africa if they are successful. We bring them to South Africa. We refund their visa, because some of them may have borrowed money to get visas. So as long as they have a official receipt of the visa, we will refund that. And then during the holidays, especially the undergraduates, because we believe family is very important, they have to go home and be with their families. And whilst they are at the university studying, we support them with tutors in case they are having challenges with their studies, because we want them to complete their degrees. And as my colleague also mentioned, transition starts from the day they join us, from the orientation time. We have scholars who have been with the university before. We even bring alumni to tell them of their experiences at the university, the do's and the don'ts, what I wish I knew before I joined the program. And we also pair them with mentors. We pair them with peers from their own country to reduce the loneliness being away from home. But our scholars on the program, because of the engagement that we have with them throughout their stay or their degree programs at the university, they have become a community. And we also do interactions with the broader university students. So it's home away from home. We have psychologists on the program. We have academic coordinators. And the other important thing when we were talking about employability upon graduation, we have a program at the University of Pretoria called STARS, where they look into the academic results to see, because young people are sometimes gets excited when they have done very well in mathematics or physics. Everybody wants to be a doctor or wants to be an engineer, only to find that their aptitude is not for these degrees. So after we review this, we get assessments of their aptitude. We let them know that maybe this is what you should be studying. And it's not forcing them to do that. We just try to explain to them that with your aptitude, maybe this will not be for you. And to tell you the honest truth, those who have taken the advice have thrived very well and done very well. Okay. So we provide holistic support to the students.
I just wish you know, how much is tuition in the University of Pretoria?
It's University of Pretoria or universities in South Africa.
For non-university students, non-South Africans, how much is
non-South Africa? Well, all international students pay an international levy to the university, but those that come to the Scholars Program, we waive that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But when they are admitted, they need to pay before?
No. Okay. When they apply, we always talk to our prospective scholars to say, when you apply to the University of Pretoria, where they say pay the levy, you say I've applied through Mastercard Foundation, and we provide them with an official letter for the university to waive that.
Thank you. Okay. Mike Ssempa Mulindwa, why are you here?
Yes, through the support of the Open Dreams, which we appreciate so much, I'm here basically to share graduate, or what we commonly known as a master's degree study opportunities at Carnegie Mellon University Africa, because the African location offers only master's degrees to take, that is information technology related graduates or final years, but also any student from engineering or math and physics. Over the years, to start with, who've admitted and successfully graduated close to 30 Cameroonian students through the Open Dreams network. And I'm here to share these opportunities to young professionals in the tech and engineering field, final year university students also are doing, when I talk about tech, I mean information and communication technology, what in French called informatique, to be able to apply to join a chance to earn a world-class master's degree offering at Carnegie Mellon University in either information technology, electrical and computer engineering, or engineering artificial intelligence. The Masters of Science in Engineering Artificial Intelligence is a little bit unique from the other two programs because it takes in any student or graduate who has graduated from undergraduate in either any engineering program, electrical, mechanical, civil, any engineering program can join and do a Master of Science in Engineering Artificial Intelligence, but also anyone from ICT, including those who are from math major or physics major. Applications open every year on October 1st, and the early application deadline is on December 15th, but applications finally close on January 15th. The requirements, we'll share them. I encourage many young Cameroonian graduates around Yaoundé to join us tomorrow at Hotel de Ville at 9 a.m. in the morning, but also will be in Boya on Thursday. We encourage them to come, final year students in tech and engineering, and young professionals who want to pursue their master's degrees. Come for the session tomorrow at 9. We'll listen to us. You get to know the admissions criteria and what's required to be admitted. All that will be shared, and also a link where you can register right now to receive an alert on your email once applications open in October. That's how all the 30-plus Cameroonians who have been able to get through CMU education, that's the process I've gone through. But also, I also want to also mention that something interesting about CMU, you get to learn issues in tech and engineering on the continent because we interact with the entire ecosystem on the continent. But you get to work with some of the finest brains in tech and engineering on the continent. But on top of that, you have a chance to apply every semester. There's a group of students who apply to spend one semester of their study at the main campus in Pittsburgh in the United States, working on projects and learning with their peers. And during that time when they're there, the courses they would have done while on the Kigali campus, they do them from the Pittsburgh campus. Yes. Now, thank you.
I would like us to have what I call the take-home message, and that will be in 30 seconds. I want to give that opportunity to Dr. Grace Ramafi. What do you think in 30 seconds, Doctor, that should be the take-home message from this program? Is the university job market mismatch fueling joblessness?
The answer to that is the universities on the continent and elsewhere have recognized this challenge, and we are all working on that. So there has been a lot of progress made, but there's still much more to do.
I want to thank you very much, Dr. Grace Ramafi, Senior Manager, Mastercard Foundation Scholars Program, University of Pretoria in South Africa, for coming. Thanks very much, ma'am. We also had Jolie Okumu, who is Program Operations Lead, Program Manager, Makerere University in Uganda. Thanks very much for coming. And Mike Ssempa Mulindwa, Associate Director of Student Recruitment, Carnegie Mellon University Africa, Rwanda, CMU Africa. Thanks very much for coming, sir.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure being here.
We are very sorry we missed out on Kudi Cyprian, Academic Director of Cameroon University Institute in Cameroon, because of a misunderstanding in the program. We're very sure we shall be having him anytime soon. I am Moki Edwin Kindzeka in Yaoundé. Thank you for watching.